Hi bitch, hi bitch. Please stop, please stop, please stop, please stop.
What's up, guys? I'm now Marion. I'm coming to you with another video. And today, before I get started, let me just start by saying, if no one told you you're beautiful and no one told you they loved you, you're beautiful and I love you. I do have a baby in the room again, and I do have my best friend in the room, so they might put their inputs in. And no, I don't have on makeup, so y'all are getting bare face and open heart stuff. Okay, so I'm coming to you today with part 2 of this 4-part series I told you guys about in the last video. If you have not watched that, go check that out. Today's video is going to be on rape, or as my best friend said, I should say it, non-consensual sex, which is a nice way of saying rape. Okay, so I probably won't get emotional about this because I've kind of just come to terms with everything that happened with me personally. So I'm going to give you guys my background on it and then put in my 2 cents, I guess you could say. So the first time I was raped, I want to say in like the 6th grade. I don't remember the year. I just remember I was really young and I was at Stars and Strikes with someone who I thought was my friend, but I later found out that she was not my friend. So I hung out with, my sister calls her Pug Face because she did this face that made her look like a pug. So we're going to call her Pug Face. So I was with Pug Face. She was like my best friend. I always went to this place called Stars and Strikes with her. And I didn't think anything different of him. I was with Pug Face and we were hanging out, being kids, living life. And she starts talking to this guy. And I didn't think anything of it because her family always played poker there. So it didn't make me think anything. She knew everybody at this place. She knew all the people that came in and played poker. So I just assumed he was somebody that was playing poker. I did start to notice that he was looking at me weird. But again, I didn't think anything strange of it because I've always been mature for my age, I guess you could say. So I've always looked a little older than what I was. So I just assumed he was another little perv guy that was looking at me. And I don't get offended unless they actually come up and talk to me. So me and her hanging out, and then I go to the bathroom. I hear somebody walk in, so I assume it was her, and it wasn't. It was him. And they had like trash cans in there, and there were 2 trash cans in there. He blocked the door and he pinned me down, and I tried to scream, but he covered my mouth and he pulled down my pants and he raped me. And as I was getting up, she was standing there. Like, after he got off of me and I scooted towards the wall and scratched myself up, she was standing there. And she didn't say anything. She didn't try to tell anybody. She didn't try to help me. She was just watching. And I was like, you just watched me. I don't understand. So after that, I was like, I have to tell somebody. She told me not to tell anybody because nobody would listen. I went to an officer that worked there. He told me that unless I could give him a name, he couldn't do anything about it. And I called my mom and I went home. She didn't know what was wrong with me. She didn't think anything of it. I went in my room and I cried. And I never talked about it again until I was in, like, I want to say high school. My best friends didn't even know. Like, the best friend that I do Hot Topics with didn't even know until, like, we got into high school. Because Pugface just made me believe that, one, nobody would do anything, that nobody would help me, and that nobody would believe me because she said she didn't believe me. She said that I wanted it. I asked him for it. And I did eventually, quote unquote, get justice because another girl was raped and I recognized his face and I reported my incident when he went to jail. So he did get more time for my incident, kind of, but because I did not go to court and I did not testify, I feel like he didn't get as much time as he should have. And I saw him again later, like, I saw him my sophomore year in Walmart, and that's when I realized I needed to talk to somebody because I saw him and I went into shock. Like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to react to that. I was confused on, 1, why is he out of jail? 2, why is he in my neighborhood? 3, why is he smiling at me right now? And he knew who I was. He told me he knew who I was, and he licked his lips and tried to come at me, and I ran. And then I had another incident that happened my freshman year with an ex-boyfriend. We were in a movie theater, actually. And it's places like movie theaters and Stars and Stripes and places like that. You wouldn't think that you can get raped in those places. And I was told I put myself in the predicaments that I did, which doesn't make sense. No female should ever feel like no female or male, because men can get raped too. No one should ever feel like they put themselves into a predicament where they are harmed. Because situations like that is not your fault. My ex-boyfriend at that time, pinning me down in the movie theater and sticking his penis in me was not my fault because he couldn't control himself. And I've met other women that have either been raped by their boyfriends or raped by their husbands, raped by their dads, uncles, and it's amazing to me how society has made it so much that we feel like it's our fault. And it's amazing to me that men don't realize they can be raped. I've met plenty of boys that feel like they can't say that they've been raped because nobody will believe them. If it was against your will, it was rape. It doesn't matter any way that you put it. I don't care if that's your husband. If you told him no and he stuck his penis in you, that was rape. I don't care how you put it. And you should never blame yourself for someone else's actions. And I guess that also comes down to, again, I'm a female. I can only speak really from a female standpoint. So I guess it comes down to, why does society make it so a female feels like it's her fault? Oh, well, I shouldn't have been dressing this way. Oh, well, I shouldn't have been flirtatious. Or, oh, maybe I giggled a little too much or something like that. Like, that's not okay. And when I was in the 6th grade, people said I dressed provocatively, but y'all, I was that kid, okay? I was the kid that had the Converse that came up to your knee, that zipped up. I had those Converse in like every different color that they had. And I was the girl that wore leggings under skirts because I thought that shit was cute and cool. And I was the girl that wore like 2 different t-shirts. Like, I wore a long sleeve t-shirt and then I wore a short sleeve t-shirt over the long sleeve because I thought that was cool. That's what I had on. So I don't understand how what I had on can be a factor into me being raped. When I went with my ex-boyfriend, yes, I had on a dress, but it was a date night. You want to look good on your date night. It was supposedly my first real date. So the fact that my first real date, I was told I shouldn't have done what I did, for him to want to do that to me amazes me. And that was told to me by his own mother, that if I didn't have on that dress, her son wouldn't have felt provoked to touch me the way that he did. And I just want to let everyone know that from my own experience, you should never feel like you can't go to somebody, because somebody will listen, and you can there's always a way to get justice. And I feel like if I would have spoken up for both situations, those people wouldn't be walking around today. Like, my ex-boyfriend still likes my pictures. Like, he makes different accounts all the time just so he can still like my pictures on Instagram or Facebook or stuff like that. And it just amazes me that he sees no fault in what he did. He sees no wrong in it. It's in his head, what he did was not wrong because he was my boyfriend. And that is wrong. Like, you can't make someone have sex with you. That totally defeats what sex is supposed to be about. This is not the old times, y'all. Like, that stuff is not okay. It wasn't okay then, and it's really not okay now. Oh, God, I'm going to start crying if I keep talking about that. Okay. So, I guess what I want to get across to not even just females. Men, women, dogs, cats, boys, girls, purple people, pink people, whatever you want to call yourself. What I want to get across to you is, do not silence yourself. If you feel like somebody has done wrong by you, if you feel like somebody has forced themselves on you, if you feel like someone has done anything of that nature to you, speak up, speak out. Let your voice be heard. If you don't get justice right away, you will eventually get justice. But don't do what I did and stay silent, because that shit will haunt you for forever. And 9 times out of 10, if the person did it to you, they'll do it to somebody else. But that's all for today, you guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Leave questions and comments down below. Follow me on social media. And I'll see you guys on Friday.